This is going to be one of those good things in your day today. This is one of those conversations where you just learn a lot because another woman dared to step up and just share what she knows. Today, we will talk with Christine Despres. She is a registered nurse, a board-certified health and wellness coach, a dementia practitioner, and a holistic health coach with over 30 years of experience in healthcare, many of those in dementia, hospice, and rehab. And she's been watching what happens when we leave brain health to chance. Isn't this intriguing? Because not a lot of people are talking about it. We love it. We're here for it. She saw with her patients. She saw with her own mother who died at 57. She founded the Wellness Navigator, which is a really cool website. You should check it out, to give midlife women a personalized blueprint for protecting their greatest asset, their brain, while prevention is still the most powerful tool that they have. She helps midlife women protect their brain health to reclaim their vitality, not out of fear. And this is what I love, but out of a deep belief in what's still possible. Don't you love the health of that? Come listen to this interview with Christine. She's a delight, and I think you're going to really enjoy her. Welcome to my realm. I'm Tami Jorden, and this is Butterfly Days, the podcast that proves you're not past your prime. You're living in it right now because women don't have expiration dates. Butterfly Days is a celebration of the extraordinary potential of Gen X and Boomer women. Throughout history, women have shared wisdom to uplift and empower one another. And you're about to learn hard-earned wisdom and best-kept secrets from interesting, inspiring women. So if you're ready to embrace your butterfly season with confidence, find joy in the present, and create a legacy that matters, you're in the right place. No more holding back. Let's spread our wings now. Here we go. Welcome to my realm. This is Tami Jorden, and you're listening to Butterfly Days. Today's my guest is Christine Despres, and she is a nurse who actually is, after my own heart, has experience in hospice and palliative care. And I'm thinking, Christine, how did you end up in those areas? What called you?
Yes, so interesting. Where should I begin? Well, my nursing, I've been a nurse for over 30 years, and I worked in Jackson Hole in San Francisco in orthopedics, and then ended up in a tiny little town in Montana for about 20 years. And actually, the hospital was still a tiny little house with carpeting, and the nurse was the only person in the building at night, basically the RN. And so when I went to apply for a job, they said, well, the doctor's a half an hour away, and good luck. You'll be with one care attendant for the night. And I said, no way. So
what a brave girl.
I know, right? I thought, no, I'm going to call the ER team or the respiratory therapist. I'm not doing this by myself. So I went next door to the skilled nursing facility, and they offered me the director of nursing job on the spot. So I became the director of nursing for 15 years.
Wow.
And was able to work with dementia, hospice, rehabilitation patients. And it was a wonderful experience. It was moving, sad, devastating at times, meaningful, and heartwarming and heartbreaking all at once.
All at once. Oh.
And somewhere along the way, I decided that I needed to also incorporate wellness into my life, because when folks came to me, unfortunately, they already had many diagnoses and lots of pills, and I could do my best to make them comfortable and give them the best experience possible for the remainder of their life, but I couldn't really change what had happened or make them better. And so it became a mission of mine to figure out how I could help make people better before they got to that point in their lives.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I also love that it was sort of serendipitous that you found your way into hospice and palliative care through this little twist of fate. And I think there are so many women listening to this thinking, sometimes it was just that one silly thing that seemed like nothing at the time. And yet it would launch us in an area that became really important to us as part of our life mission. That's absolutely beautiful.
I get chills thinking about it. I have so many special people that come to mind, thinking about those years, and my dear, dear elders and sweet, sweet folks that have a very special place in my heart. They're so meaningful. I did this one thing. I would always have a photo of folks when they were younger and in their prime that they really loved by their bedside. I know, so that we would never forget.
That's so moving.
I know. So no matter who was caring for them, if they knew them or they didn't know them, they didn't look at them just in the condition that they were in at that point.
I saw them as a whole problem. I'm really going to lose it. I hope I make it through this. Oh my gosh. That is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gesture. Because, this society, our modern society is certainly struggles with having appropriate respect for our elders, but giving the opportunity for all of us to remember that the one with you now they were once you, like.
Exactly.
Oh,
they were once you. 100%.
yeah.
That's how I feel.
That's so beautiful. Oh, I love that so much. So you do this for many years, and you notice that by the time people get to you, there's not a lot of reparative possibility. Well and fine. And that begins to inspire you to consider how could you front load this bad boy?
That's right. Yes.
Right?
And my own mother.
Tell us about that. Oh, wow. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, sorry. My own mother had passed away at 57. So she really was never able to care for herself through life circumstances for her brain and her body the way she should have. And I felt hopeless as a child. Honestly, I wanted her to do things differently. I wanted her to be able to do the work and to get better. And and so that is what inspired me to go into nursing in the beginning. And so I valued my health. I've always valued my health and my wellness, and knew that I didn't want that to be my outcome to end at untimely death, let's just say.
Yeah.
So tying that back in, when I started working on the wellness, I thought I was healthy, but I just found out there's so much more to health and wellness. So I would take courses on the side. I became a health coach, a Pilates instructor, studied nutrition. But I also realized I had to help my staff as much as my patients so that they could be healthy, because healthy staff are happy.
Yeah.
And then
everybody's mental health on board. Yeah.
Yes. And then they can care for my loved ones when I'm not there providing the care myself. I would have been there every day taking care of folks if I could have, but I knew that wasn't possible. So.
Right.
Yeah.
But how beautiful that you could see the problem in real time and then began to imagine, dream, reach for, how can we make this better for us, but for others as we go forward? Where do you go from there, though, girl? I mean, you've done this extra training, you work as a nurse, then what?
I did some women's wellness retreats, which was really amazing. I coordinated and created them on my own, and it was Pilates and mindfulness and cooking. And I just thought, I was a busy single mom. I was on call for work. I would never had enough time to care for myself the way that I wanted to. And so I was going to create this little window for women to get away. And I taught Pilates on the paddle boards out in the ocean, and we did morning meditations and healthy cooking classes. And it was fantastic. It was probably over 10 years ago, maybe. I did
Wow.
that when I didn't have my daughter, because my
Yeah.
ex-husband had her on the other time. So my
Yeah.
spare weekends, I would focus on my wellness. And that
Oh,
really
wow.
inspired me to keep going and to be able to do the work that I did, knowing that if 80% of disease and chronic disease and illness is preventable by lifestyle, then there is a way for us to get ahead of this. There is a way.
Yeah.
Then COVID hit, and I hung up my side job and worked a lot as the infection control preventist. And that was a very devastating time. And it really changed how healthcare operates and works, and started the travel nursing generation, which was
Yes.
kind of what finished my career in that avenue, to be honest. I just
Yeah.
didn't have enough control over the care that was being given under my direction.
Yeah.
And so I said, all right, I'm going to get my daughter off to college and go full time into wellness.
Wow. So I just heard you say, as many women listening to this podcast are doing, that you made a midlife pivot when you launched your, the baby bird out of the nest.
Yes.
I love that. Let me ask you this. Was it terrifying? Did you think about it for a long time? Really, I think I'm really asking for women who are at pivot points. Like, what do you remember about that time?
Sure. I knew it was coming. I was preparing myself because we were in this tiny town in Montana, and my family is from Maine, and that's where my father is. So I knew
well, that's close.
I knew I wanted to get back east, and that was going to be my opportunity to focus on wellness. So I started renewing my certifications. I got board certified in health and wellness coaching, started to figure out what my niche was. Was it going to be nutrition? And again, serendipitously, I don't say that right.
No, you did good. Serendipitously.
Serendipitously, thank you. I ended up in brain health, helping women in midlife specifically fall in love with caring for their brains. That is
wow.
That is my mission.
Wow. Was it hard to leave the nursing? And I think what I'm really asking is, anytime you make a career seg, you're looking at somewhat of a different the pay situation's going to shift. Were you frightened because of that, or because of because what you're saying to me is that you went into a solopreneur career sector. How was that for you?
I was frightened for a very long time, to be honest. Scared in a good way, you're, free, not having the child at home and knowing that I didn't have those daily responsibilities. I knew that was going to be the launch where I was going to set my wings and grow and change. And it was absolutely frightening and I've just really focused on my mindset. Really, every day, it's a constant positive reinforcement. And trying to find faith and strength. And it's a new business, and I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm a nurse. And that's a very, very different situation. And I thought, if I just keep educating myself, the business will come. And then somewhere along the way, you realize, you actually have to learn how to run a business too.
I think that's been
two parts of it.
That's been a big thing. A number of women, in your case, you're like in a health kind of a sector, but I have friends who want to do things that are creative, and they are stunned that you still have to do the businessy piece. And it seems fairly obvious, and yet, wow, you get into it and you're like, oh, this is like a whole job plus what I wanted to accomplish.
Yeah. And, speaking of brain function, it's like your brain doesn't know which task to do first because there's so many all at once. And you think, is this late onset ADHD? Am I losing my mind? Is this...
I spend a lot of time thinking that. Yes.
And that was part of what was happening. I just happened to be going through midlife changes at the same time and trying to figure out if this was stress, if it was work, if it was transition, if it was my body, if it was hormones.
Yeah.
And I found a great naturopath, and she helped me through the hormone part of it. And then honestly, the lab work showed I was stressed. I had high cortisol.
Yeah.
And I really needed to focus on my lifestyle and protecting my brain health, which when you focus on your brain, then everything else kind of falls into place because it does control your hormones and it is connected to your heart. So what's good for your brain is also good for your heart.
Oh.
And then you think, well, what's good for the gut is also good for the brain. So I need to take care of my gut. And through these little shifts and these transitions, I have lowered my cholesterol. Not cholesterol, sorry, cortisol.
Cortisol.
Cortisol. And I found a little bit more peace now that it's been a couple of years with my daughter gone, and I've fallen into the
Found your rhythm. Yeah.
Yes. But I miss my patients. Back to what you asked before, that transition. I have felt a little lonely working at home on the computer at times, missing all my little people that I check in on. And that is a part of the transition that is a little bit difficult. But as I get more and more clients and more into my business, I'm finding I'm able to help people just at a different point in their life in a different way.
Yeah. And that seems like that would be really fulfilling to know that you've literally changed the destiny of somebody's life if they can upgrade their habits and, to be healthier. You mentioned that there are things that you can change, lifestyle things, and that will directly impact brain health. So I was thinking about that, but you're going to laugh because the other thing I was thinking about is, did it turn out the ADHD was diagnosable, or how did that work out for you? Because since I have started this podcast, 6 months ago, I swear to you, I have ADHD and I never knew it. What did you find out in your journey?
I honestly, it's a little bit of everything. I saw a brain health specialist, and she made some recommendations. A lot of it has to do with hormones and making sure your hormones are at the optimal level for brain health function, not just within the little parameters of lab work. So optimizing your hormones so that everything can function to its best ability. And then honestly, finding that peace with knowing that you can't do it all every single day and being able to close. It's kind of like with my patients. It's like they're always still there, so you never really close that door. But now it's your computer, it's your workload. When you're running your own business, there's always something. You could do more, you could study more, you could write more posts, you could write more blogs. It's endless. And so you have to find a way to close the door every night and shut it down and take care of yourself, because
I love
it's so important. I know it's hard when we're busy to care for ourselves. Going back to those retreats when I was a busy single mom, now I'm not quite as busy in the same way, but like we were speaking, the business can take all of your energy and time and trying to get it all straight. So finding that time to give back to myself every day. I'm a Pilates instructor, but I joined yoga, and I'm loving the mindfulness of yoga. I'm in the big city and I'm not in the mountains anymore, but I'm still taking a walk in nature.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's go back to the other question now that I've distracted you completely, which is really mean to somebody who already admitted she was worried about ADD. Sorry about that. So you talked about that there are choices that we could make that help with brain health. Tell me about that. Like what? Like what?
Absolutely. Well, I do take, by the way, a mushroom supplement that helps with the ADHD. So that's part of one of my particular protocols. It helps with focus naturally.
Yeah.
So we're going to get back to that part too. But other things that people can do, honestly, an anti-inflammatory diet is probably first and foremost. It's called the Mediterranean or a MIND diet. And It's good for the heart and good for the brain, clinically proven to reduce cognitive decline up to 50%. And the
Wow.
bonus is it helps you lose weight naturally because you're eating
Mhm.
real whole foods.
Yeah.
Real foods, greens, vegetables, olive oil, nuts, seeds, lean proteins. So you can control what you put in your mouth. And so that's a great place to start. Like, we're all going to have stress. We're all going to be busy. Yes, we can learn to control those things, but life is going to happen. But you
Mm,
can choose what you put on your plate. So I think that's a great place to start.
that's fabulous.
Mm-hmm. Movement is essential, especially if you're
Mm.
working all day at your computer. You really need to break that up and move around throughout the day. It's called exercise snacking.
I love
And
it. Exercise
yes,
snacking.
yes, a little bit, set your timer or your ring, or have something tell you need to get up and move around. Let the blood flow get back up to your brain, because when you're sitting, it's stuck, it's difficult. Mm-hmm. So
That is, I never knew that. And I love it. It makes total sense.
yeah,
Thank you.
yes.
Okay. So
Deep
that's why we
breathing.
don't sit too long. We're
That's
looking to
part
make
of
sure
why.
that we keep our blood flow going.
Blood flow, which gets oxygen up to the brain, which keeps you sharp and focused. Breath work is really great because you're bringing in fresh oxygen and pushing out old oxygen. So taking a few minutes when you take your little exercise break, whether you do a load of laundry, walk out back to let the dog out. If you're at your desk at work, you take a walking lunch. You park a little bit further in the parking lot. You take the stairs, just maximizing any opportunity that you have to be active and to move that
Great
body.
idea.
And I
Great.
love habit
Yeah.
stacking. So if you're moving, then you're breathing. Or, what can you do because we're busy and we need
Yes.
to do as much at once as possible, not
It's
overload, but
wonderful.
a couple things at a
Habit
time,
stacking. Oh,
habit
I
stack.
love this. I've heard
Yes.
of it, but I sort of forgot.
Mhm.
That's great. So, Mediterranean diet or something in that general area where you're eating leaner and paying attention to making sure you're getting veggies and whole foods and not processed, etc., is
Yeah.
good. Is that also good? Because I've been learning recently that the digestive tract is like the second brain, that a lot of how we feel mentally is
Mhm.
impacted by the health of our gut. What do you think about that?
They tie very closely together. Absolutely. Not only is the gut 70% of your immune system, but the vagus nerve goes from the brain to the gut. And the gut sends a lot more information up than it does down. And so when
Oh,
your gut is happy, the microbes in the gut are being fed properly. They have lots of fiber. They can not only take out the trash, which is what I love to
mm-hmm,
call
mm-hmm.
the detox pathways in our body, taking out the
Yeah,
trash. So when the gut is happy, it tells the brain and the neurotransmitters that are made in the gut that you're happy. And so you think better, your brain fog clears, your mood is better, and your memory can be better just by eating those green, nutritious foods. Berries. I don't know if I mentioned berries, but
mm,
berries are brain food. Every day you can eat a small handful: blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. And that is just fuel for the brain.
I love that. Antioxidants, which are just generally good for, let's make sure cancer cells are not
Mm-hmm. That's right.
here.
100%.
That's wonderful. Now, in something I was reading about you, it mentioned that you had learned that you have the APOE gene. For those of us not familiar with that, would you be okay to talk about that?
Absolutely. So during that journey where I was having the high cortisol and stress and I didn't know what was happening, I have a family history of Alzheimer's. And I'm also studying brain health. So am I self-diagnosing, or am I am I worried? Is it legitimate? And so when I got my big lab panel, which I highly recommend, a very thorough lab panel, not the average doctor lab panel, but where they test for heavy metals and um,
Mm,
toxins in the environment and really do deeper dives. I added on the test for an Alzheimer's gene. And I found out I had one copy.
Oh, wow.
So it makes me 25% more likely to have Alzheimer's. So it
Wow.
really just made this work even more meaningful. So every
Yes.
healthy meal, every movement, every mindful event that I do, or time I spend in yoga, how focusing on my sleep, everything has more meaning because I am intrinsically motivated to take care of my brain.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's beautiful. So knowing that you have it, obviously it can motivate you to make healthier choices and to stay aware. Just statistically, how does that impact, I don't know, how you look at going forward?
Yes. There's kind of a famous saying out there that genes load the gun, but the environment pulls the trigger. Mm-hmm.
Very good.
So
Very
I kind of
good.
keep that as my mantra, and I believe that I believe in the 80-20 rule. I don't live a perfect life. I love to enjoy food and life and travel and music, and but when I have control over what I'm eating and doing, then I take those opportunities that whenever I can. And
I love that.
I just know that it's not, all kinds of things can happen to you in life, right? So life could end at any point. And so I try to just value every day and not let be my destiny, knowing that I'm going to do my best along the way, anchor it to those habits that mean something to me because I want to age well. I want to see my daughter grow up.
Yes.
I want to maintain my independence, my memory. I want to keep those beautiful memories alive and at the forefront of my mind. And I hope to never, have to go into a nursing home, but that may happen.
Yeah.
But that's part of my motivation to be healthy and to protect my brain as much as I can.
I love that. I think that's so in alignment with all of us who are listening to you right now. It's like, yes, 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 she is me. So tell us about the 80-20 rule, maybe a little more information on that, because I'm super intrigued.
Sure. I feel like if you do about 80% of the time, given what your life circumstances at and where you are, that 20% of the time, or maybe 10% of the time, depending on what your goals are, that you should enjoy life and have the ice cream. And if you want a glass of wine, or if you want to skip exercising, if you want to travel and go on vacation and enjoy the pasta, then you should absolutely live life.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love the balance of that because, you can follow all the rules and try to hit the statistical, predictions. But the truth is that wouldn't make a happy life unless that's just, for some reason, that framing is particularly resonant for you, I guess. But I love what you're saying is that you can live a full, happy life, but still be devoted to, in general, good habits, good diet, getting the exercise, keeping an eye on a future that you'd like to move towards, right? Brilliant.
100%. It's
Brilliant.
consistency over perfection for sure. And it's a lifestyle. It's not a quick program or a quick fix or special diet that you work really hard for and then fall off. It's really a lifestyle that encourages, knowing what's good for your brain and bad for your brain. And you make those choices, knowing that and understanding and evaluating it without guilt, and just live in the moment when you can. But then when you're able, you make some good choices and you put some good choices into the program for sure.
What I think is powerful about what you're sharing is you're saying, understand, this is something that midlife women can embrace in a way maybe we couldn't when we were younger. But you're saying we need to look at this like a marathon and not a sprint. Don't go into these hardcore things that you start out fine and then just burn out. Instead, take a longer, slower, long-term view Don't freak if you don't hit something. We're going to live in the 80-20 zone, and it's going to be good enough. I love that. But you also said, shoot, now welcome to midlife. See if you could remember the last thought that you had. You also spoke about eating well and doing things that support that kind of longevity. And I'm wondering, like, what else do we need to make sure that we're putting in there, or should we focus on?
There's a new study that came out recently called the US Pointer, and they really focused on 4 categories, and it's movement, the mind diet, cognitive engagement. So learning new things, being socially active, not isolating yourself, finding purpose. It could be work, but it could be volunteering. It could be a language, music. If you have children
Painting,
or you
whatever.
don't, painting, art, just something new and different. You want to challenge those brain cells to act. The brain is neuroplastic, which is beautiful. It's a muscle, just like your bicep, except you never see it, right? And so you don't know, like, oh, I'm doing a good job. All those curls are making my arms look nice. Well, for your brain, it's silently doing all the work, but you don't realize that using it actually builds that muscle, and today is a great day to start caring for your brain, because the changes that you make today affect you for the next 20 or 30 years. And that, to me, is fascinating.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to have you say that again, because if you're listening to this is maybe the most important point. Go ahead and say that again.
Yes. Starting today, doesn't matter what happened yesterday. Starting today, the changes that you make can create and change what happens to you for the next 20 or 30 years with your cognition and overall health and wellness.
And if you are between 45 and 65, which most of the women listening to this are, you easily have 30 years just on an average. So, y'all, this is beautiful. Today's a great day to just start and to leave it in the 80-20 zone. Stop putting insane pressure on ourselves. That's not helpful. It makes you stop what you were trying to do anyway. And, be a cheerleader for yourself and for your own health. I love that. I don't know anybody think of all your friends and even the women that you know. I don't know anyone who is saying to themselves, I hope that I end up in a care home with dementia. That is not a goal.
No.
But part of the way that we can help ourselves move towards that is to make good choices as often as we can, and to know that that's enough. Oh, I love that.
Yes.
I love it. So what else do you think we should know about what you know? Share your wisdom.
That's right. I would love to. So the last part of the Pointer study is cardiovascular health, knowing your numbers. What is your A1C and your blood pressure, managing your blood sugar? Those are very important because, as we said, the heart and the brain are so closely connected, and what's good for the heart is good for the brain. So that is extremely relevant. If you have high blood pressure, then you have high pressure inside your brain as well, and that is not good for you. So yes.
I did not know that. So if you have high blood pressure, you're also, of course, it's impacting your brain. That is a price that a lot of women, I have a couple of friends who did not want to go on blood pressure meds for a variety of reasons. And they put it off. And of course, now they're on them. But if they thought for a hot second that they could be compromising mental capability, the game would have been very different for them.
I understand where they're coming from. Nobody wants to take medication either.
No.
But that is one of the categories where they will say, keep
direct
blood
impact
pressure at 120/80. I think 130 is probably the threshold, but you want that blood pressure within normal limits for sure.
Yeah. Oh, this is so good. I'm so glad that we're talking. So
Me too.
you're talking about you're talking about A1C, knowing your number, and that is going to tie into a topic right now that's kind of loaded. Do you have any perspective at this point that you would care to share about the use of GLP-1s to try to microdosing it in to try to impact dementia onset or formation?
I think the research is really just coming out, to be honest. And I'm not the brain health neurologist or expert. I wait for the studies to come out and for them to tell me.
Fair.
So I don't know if the verdict is honestly out. I believe it's obviously very smart to control your weight and your blood sugar and to make sure that I know for sure. I am on the fence. I support women all the time who are on it, and they have great stories to tell. I also have a sister who's a nurse, and she tells me the other side, a lot of the side effects that people are experiencing that end up in the hospital.
Yeah.
So
we want to be careful, whatever
we want to be
going
careful.
forward.
And those habits are the same whether you're on, for me, the habits are the same whether you're on the medication or not.
Yeah.
I want you to still have enough fiber so that you still have great gut health. I want you to work out and make muscle so that your metabolism works and that you keep being able to support yourself from, getting up off the ground. You want to be strong. That's really what's most important for me is if you're able to take the medication and still keep up with the nutrition requirements to feed your brain and your body, you're still able to exercise so that you stay strong and that you age well.
Yeah. Yeah. Whether or not, you decide to microdose for that reason, but whether or not you do that, you're right. The basics need to remain here in order for us to aim for healthy longevity. And I also really appreciate that you included not only learning new things, because that's brain exercise, right?
Yes.
But you mentioned how important our relationships and social connection are, because it's really important to how regulated and supported and connected we are to community, that it matters right up there with making sure that you're eating well and moving, is to have healthy social connections.
It really does. And the experts are saying scientifically it is invaluable to stay connected, to have purpose, to get out of the house. I met a woman yesterday who she's kind of alone. She's in her 70s. She was forced into retirement and she just doesn't have family around her. She lost her mom recently and I just felt for her. And she came to the gym where I was giving a talk for camaraderie and to see what was going on and to meet new people and to socialize. And I gave her so much credit for that because absolutely it might be a little bit out of your norm if you're a little bit more on the lonelier side or a homebody, but to volunteer or to stay in touch, to make those phone calls, to join groups, to anything that you can to stay connected and to have that sense of connection and purpose and that you're not alone in the world.
Yeah, just to be intentional. In particular, I love what you said. There are women who are more introverted or homebodies, and it's easier as you age to get in the rut and just be doing what you've done, and then to look up and to realize I'm now at an age where I've lost people for various reasons, sometimes because they passed on due to age, and I am alone. But to be intentional and to think about what you want for the long term. I'm always interested that people buy insurance. They carry car insurance. They often carry life insurance. They're thinking about the future. But part of caring about our health is caring about our heart. in particular, as we begin to make that further connection with gut health and the brain. You know, there really is a very strong correlation there. They're not separate systems.
You're absolutely right.
Man, that is so beautiful. So, you know, we are here talking to midlife women.
Yeah.
I find hope in what you're saying, but I want to ask you a little bit more directly.
Sure.
Are we too late in the process at 50 or over to begin thinking about these things? You know, it's easy to feel like, well, I should have done it a long time ago. There's no hope. What are your thoughts about that?
What are my thoughts? I don't think so at all. I think the body really can almost function for most people that are somewhat healthy, can almost function on autopilot until about midlife. And then that's kind of where the chaos starts, right?
Yeah.
And so everything's shifting and changing, and we're finding out what the new norm is. But I believe once you get through that chaos, those are the best years ahead of you, because you've reached
100.
another episode, and you're not going to go through puberty again. You're not going to have another baby. You're not going to go through perimenopause again. So yes, exactly. And you can find where your body is at and begin doing what feels good, listening to your body on another level. When you have time and energy, you're not focused on everybody around you as much. Maybe you have a little bit more time to think about, what does my body need? What do I want? What feels good? What movement feels good? I'm not saying you have to go to the gym and do this, but maybe you want to paddle. Maybe you want to walk. There's so many ways to move your body. You can go to, finding what you really love, because you have a little bit more time, hopefully to do that. Not that you're not still busy, but
Right.
but you just have a little more time to look inside and figure out what is going to nourish me from the inside out.
I love that. And I really appreciate something you're saying, which I don't hear a lot. I hear a lot of folks advocating for physical health, talking about, you need to do this and then add this and don't make sure you do this and da 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 da. But, and those things are important. I'm not dismissing it. But part of what I like about what you said is there's a profound balance in it, because you're saying, find what calls to you, what you enjoy, and push into that. Because I think, first of all, you're going to stay with it longer if there's this tiny joy in it. It's that little pull. But for some of us are walkers, some of us are yoga people, some of us like qigong or those sorts of directions, karate. Some of us want to lift heavy things. Some of us don't. Some of us go hard on a bike. Others of us would rather be stabbed. So it just seems so beautiful what you're suggesting, that the point is to continue to move, but find what's good for you. Because something I was recently thinking about, and I hope it's all right if I say this, but I was recently around people who are really pushing some hardcore workout exercise. You have to lift, you need to wear a vest, there's a lot of stuff. And I think most of it's good. I'm not criticizing, but I'm just saying there's a warrior mentality here that is certainly suits certain personality types, but not all of us. And they were just like, well, you're not going to be healthy if you don't do this, this, and this. And there was a real heaviness and a harshness to that. And maybe that I'm a little bit of a contrarian, but I was thinking about all of the older people that I can think of, and who's really older and aged well and who didn't, in my own personal experience. So my data sample is unique to me, right? Very few of those people did anything near what I was being told I needed to do to be healthy. So my actual life experience of looking at healthy older people is that they're not dying on that hill like you're asking me to do, saying that's the only way to get there. And so part of what I'm really appreciating in what you're saying is your path to wellness that's appropriate for you can often be found in being intentional, but also honoring what works for you, what feels good for you, what's you. I like the individuality that you're offering us in your conception of it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do feel like we're all very, very different and unique, and we're bio-individual. What works for one person does not work for the other, whether it's gluten or meat or, whatever it is. Everybody's body is different. So one exercise makes you feel good and the next exercise just may make you feel terrible. And you shouldn't have to do that because your brain loves joy. Like if we're keeping the brain happy, keep you happy, right? If you hate going to the gym, then I say, don't go to the gym.
Yeah. But what a great comment. And this is another great well, you've given several great takeaways right in that. But I'm really connecting with your idea that what brings you joy is good for your brain, and therefore automatically is a good longevity strategy.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. So we can stop feeling bad about feeling good?
Yes, absolutely.
Dependently, yeah.
Give or take, yeah.
There are a few rails around that, but in general, that is actually fabulous. I'm still playing with the idea that you saw a lot of people making that dementia journey and in a difficult aging process. What do you think maybe, and I'm wondering how that changed you, or what that brings to what you're doing now? Like, can you articulate that for me?
Yeah, I saw some really devastating situations, Tami. Honestly, it's really, really hard to see people and not remembering their family. And I mean, some of the cutest little ladies, some of the things that they were doing just, and maybe they weren't aware, but watching their family, watching their daughters and their children see a version of their parent that they could never imagine in a million years.
Yeah.
And sometimes it went on for so long. That was the hardest part, just like, please make it stop. But why are they would have a strong body and no mind to back it up. And the body just kept going for so long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I forget what your question was.
I wondered, the answer actually is fantastic. I just wondered, after seeing that, how does that transform your work now?
Yes, I wouldn't wish that on anybody's worst enemy in the world. And so if there's anything that I can personally do to help people notice, acknowledge, fall in love with caring for their brain, then I would wish that for them and everyone, absolutely everyone.
Oh, I love that.
There's subtle shifts. There's small little micro habits. We can drink more water. We can wake up and say what we're grateful for and set up the brain for a successful day versus turning on our phone or the news right away. Just give yourself 5 minutes to acknowledge what you're grateful for in this world, something you're looking forward to that day, even if it's the end of the day, even if it's getting in bed. Set your mind up to look forward to that event, and then it starts tracking and starts looking for more things of positivity. That's how the brain works. We have 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. Most of them are repetitive and most of them are negative. So if you wake up and start with anything negative or scrambling or chaos, then that's the mode your brain goes to, and then it starts looking for all those things all day because it thinks that's what's important to you. But if you start your day with mindfulness, and maybe if you're busy, you have 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be an hour of power.
Yep.
Take 5 minutes to breathe, stretch, drink your water, make your coffee or tea in peace, And then you start your day. And
Yeah.
what that
Look
does,
out the window.
yeah, if you could step outside, get fresh air, look at the sun, listen to the birds, anything, it can lower cortisol up to 30% just
Oh,
by not starting
wow.
the day in chaos and giving
In a
yourself.
chaotic manner, which, once kids, for moms that are listening, obviously it's not the same if you didn't have children, but especially for those of us who are moms, we just, it was normal to start the day at DEFCON 1, Ah! So what a treat.
Mhm.
What this can be the over 50 treat that you
Right.
don't have to start the day with your hair on fire. And actually, it's healthy aging to
Mhm.
stop and savor
Mhm.
and be grateful for what's there. Maybe step outside. If you can't step outside, maybe you have snow, so at least look outside. But
Mhm.
just stop and be present in this body, in this moment, where things are actually probably not too terribly bad if we think about it, and set ourselves up, because you just taught us earlier that happiness is good for the brain.
Mhm.
I love that. I love this. Oh my goodness. Also, I thought on your website, I saw that you have a test. Tell me about that. Is there am I wrong on this? We'll have
I'm
to
sorry.
edit it
I
if we're
don't
not.
know. I'm trying to think of what.
I thought there was an assessment. I'm
Oh,
saying
yes.
test, but
I do a
assessment is
brain
the
health
correct word.
assessment. I do a nutrition assessment to find out if you're eating enough of the anti-inflammatory foods, but also a brain health assessment that categorizes what brain that you have. There's 5 types. We won't get too deep.
There's 5 types of brains?
Well, there's like 16, but the average that we work with are like 5. But knowing
Wow,
your
this
type,
is cool.
yeah, yes. Knowing your type will um, help you understand maybe why you are the way you are, and then
Mm-hmm.
also help with strategies for brain health optimization, which are, narrowing down the diet more specifically. Some people need more carbs, some people
Yeah.
need more protein, but also if you're
Yeah.
ever going to take any supplements, there are brain health supplements that can help different types of brains, but you don't want to take the wrong one. You want to target those.
No, I don't.
Right. No, no, she doesn't. No. So
I'm
that
on
helps.
board with this.
That's right. Yeah.
That's amazing. So they can, I actually, who are we kidding here? I'm going to try this next. Though your website is thewellnessnavigator.com, and there is a brain health quiz available there. And what else?
That was a different quiz. I'm sorry. Yes. That's a quick 10-question quiz to find out where you are at in midlife with your brain health journey. That's
Oh,
just a quick
wow.
2-minute quiz on my website. But then there's a brain health assessment that's through the Amen University, which is the holistic brain health school that I went to with Dr. Amen. I don't know if you've heard of Dr.
Yes, Dr. Amen's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh, my
that's where
gosh.
the
Daniel
brain.
Amen, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
That's where the brain assessment test, quiz, or evaluation is. Sorry.
Oh, that's amazing. That's so wonderful. This has got to be such a meaningful chapter for you, to be able to work with women and to expose us to this kind of information that, I don't think it's dramatic to say that it will change your outcome, that being able to be intentional and educated and, you know, uh, caring about your body and your brain, which is so important. That what a powerful thing that is. And I kind of love it for you because you spoke to a couple times earlier, and I just love it every time you say it, that fulfillment and purpose and meaning are big deals. And it seems like that's exactly what you're finding in this work that you're able to do with women.
I sure am. I really am. Thank you so much.
I love this, Christine. So if people want to reach you, they can find you at thewellnessnavigator.com. Are there other places that you would suggest they can find you? Facebook, Insta,
Yeah,
links?
Instagram. I'm on Instagram pretty regularly, LinkedIn a little bit more for work purposes, but yes, absolutely. And email me anytime, Christine at the Wellness Navigator. I'm happy to answer questions. And
I
I
love
do
that.
free 30-minute brain strategy sessions with women who are
That's
interested.
amazing.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. And
Started.
Christine is Christine. So it's traditional spelling, but just so you know, if you're going to email Christine there.
Yeah.
Very nice. So this is wonderful.
Thank you.
I appreciate two things. I appreciate the work that you're doing because it's exciting to think that there are women out there who are helping other women know how to be healthy in this modern age. And I cannot tell you the number of women I'm talking to right now who are dealing with their parents having a dementia diagnosis. And we have all become very interested in heading that off at the pass if we can. The kind of things that you're teaching are exactly in line with achieving that. But I also really appreciate your vulnerability and your honesty to talk about your journey to get here and to begin a new career in midlife and to be able to make that happen, the courage and the guts and the hard work that takes. It's admirable. And I hope that inspires other women who are listening, that Christine is doing extraordinary things. Not that she wasn't before as a nurse, she was, but this is a new level of being able to give that's really meaningful to you. And I love that.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be in that place at this point? Did you think you would be?
It's been on the agenda for so long, but I never honestly thought it was going to happen. Yeah, it's challenging to do the hard things, but it's also so rewarding. And the times where you want to quit and think, I'm just going to go back to work. And when I get through those, I come out on the other side feeling, proud and accomplished and know that I have faith and strength and confidence and I can get through it. Even the most challenging times where I think I have no idea what is going on or what I'm going to do next. But keep going, just keep pushing, just keep moving forward.
I love that. Too, I think in midlife, we have lived through enough calamities and challenges. And, you spoke in a gentle way about the challenges of having a mom who wasn't as vested in great life choices as may have served her better. And we've seen a lot of things. And being at this age, even when it's scary, there's still that tiny bit of recognition that we have done hard things. Maybe my brain screaming, this is not going to turn out well, isn't the truth. Maybe my trust in whatever got me this far is going to keep taking me forward if I show up honest to the process, scared or not. I kind of hear that in what you're saying. Does that resonate at all?
Absolutely. I wish I could have articulated it as well as you did. Yeah, it is. It is. You dig deep. You got to dig deep.
Yeah.
Find that strength and know that there are times where I feel like I'm living out the life that my mother could not have lived. She sacrificed so much for me and I want to make her proud, I'm going to take the strength. She had strength in ways that were different. And I'm going to take that strength and that beauty of the life that she had and make a difference.
Wow. What an extraordinary tribute, and how she's sort of woven in the fabric of even what you're doing right now. And I can tell you, as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking to myself, well, Christine, I root for you. I'm rooting for you, girl. Keep developing this business and taking your message to more and more women who can be well served by it. I know those of us who have been listening to this conversation today, there were so many good things in this and so many wonderful things to remember and to take away and to be able to actually use good, usable ideas. So I will put on the landing page links so people can find you easily and learn about the coaching that you do and take your fun brain health quiz and learn more about Dr. Amen's work if they have interest. But I am really grateful that you came and talked to us and reminded us, your brain is part of your body and it's complex and differently oriented than just your standard muscle group. But it's so important and beautiful to acknowledge it and allow that to craft a better next chapter.
Absolutely. I want everyone to age well and enjoy their life. We don't have to live forever, but let's focus on our health span and living the best years that we can while we can.
Oh, preach that all day long. Thank you, Christine, for joining us today.
Thank you, Tami.
That is a beautiful message. I'm so grateful you listened to this episode. I hope it was a real value to you. If there's a sister in your life who needs this message, please share it, just like women have done to lift each other up over the centuries and across cultures. Women lifting each other is so important. It's why I do this work. And to avoid FOMO and keep up leveling your own life, make sure you don't miss the next episode. You may be losing hormones, but your life has given you powerful perspective. And I believe you have something to give that no one else does, that the world needs. So remember, I'm rooting for you. Let's go.